Today I'm covering everything we know so far about Mavuika, the character everyone's been waiting for. With her release just around the corner, we've got some exciting details about her kit, teams, and more from the past months. From her confirmed release date to what her abilities might look like, let's dive into all the latest info. If you want to save up to 20% on the current banners, visit lootbar.gg. I will buy the 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for $82, which costs $100 in the game. All I need to do is enter my UID and choose a server. Since every top-up goes through Genshin top-up channels, I received the double amount of Genesis Crystals for my first purchase and saved $18 on top of that. Besides Genshin, you can also top up in Honkai Star Rail, and Lootbar has around 20,000 5-star reviews for both games. I used Lootbar to send dozens of welcons from my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. Use my link in the description to get an additional 8% discount. First off, Mavuika's official release is scheduled for January 1st, 2025, making her a special New Year's treat. It seems a bit far away, but worry not, as Mavuika's drip marketing is just around the corner, set for November 18th. That's right, we're less than a week away from getting her official artwork and perhaps some insights into her abilities. Then, in about 10 days, beta testers will give us the first look at her gameplay, so we'll have a good idea of her full kit before long. Since the beta hasn't started yet, there isn't solid information about her kit. But we've had some interesting insights from various insiders over the past few months. So while we wait for the official gameplay preview, let's go over everything we've learned so far about Mavuika's abilities. When Mavuika uses her elemental skill, she has a few different options that change her combat style based on how long you press. With a quick press, she transforms her weapon into what's called a sun torch, allowing her to throw fireballs, applying pyro to enemies from a distance. It's straightforward, but adds consistent off-field pyro damage. When she goes for a longer press, things start to get interesting. At level 1 of the long press, Mavuika rushes toward her target and infuses herself with pyro, executing a powerful slash, and then following it up with sweeping attacks that create a wave effect, dealing continuous damage. This approach is more aggressive and keeps her in the thick of combat. But if you hold her skill for even longer, entering level 2 of the long press, Mavuika's weapon shatters and transforms into a motorcycle. She jumps onto it, using it to rush at enemies. While airborne, the motorcycle becomes a glider, and if she collides with an enemy mid-air, there's an explosive impact. This mode of her skill is bold, making her one of the most dynamic characters in terms of both mobility and style. But what about her burst? Her elemental burst is designed for team support. Activating it grants Mavuika and her teammates a Night Soul status, enhancing their resistance to interruptions and boosting their basic attributes, which could mean anything from attack power to elemental bonuses. And in a visually striking twist, this status causes each character to shimmer with rainbow-like effects, adding a bit of flair to the team dynamics. Mavuika's exploration abilities are just as unique. Her Night Soul motorcycle isn't just for combat, it allows her to traverse all kinds of terrain. She can ride across land, skim over water, and even soar through the air, combining abilities we've seen from other Natlan characters. It's like she brings the strengths of her fellow characters all in one, making her ideal for exploring both wide-open fields and vertical challenges. Altogether, Mavuika's kit is packed with versatility. Whether she's in combat or out exploring, she offers unique and varied options that let players adapt her playstyle to different situations. If you're someone who values both damage and flexible exploration, Mavuika seems set to deliver both when she arrives in version 5.3. Rumor has it that developers have been testing a team with Mavuika, Citlali, Chaska, and the Pyro Traveler, suggesting strong synergy between these characters. It's expected that Mavuika will bring supportive pyro abilities with low-frequency off-field pyro application, meaning she won't take over the main DPS role, but will provide consistent pyro application. It's also likely that she will enable unique team compositions with her wide-ranging utility. Her Night Soul-infused abilities and flexible elemental skill offer players a lot of creative potential in team building, and she's been nicknamed Dehya Pro Max by insiders, hinting at a much more developed version of Dehya's mechanics with significant improvements. Let's talk about Mavuika's Constellation Abilities and her signature weapon, which adds some interesting layers to her gameplay. At C0, Mavuika has the ability to apply pyro to enemies off-field, but it seems the frequency is on the lower side. However, her C2 constellation boosts the efficiency of her off-field pyro application and increases the multiplier for pyro-related elemental reactions, making her much stronger in reaction-heavy teams. At her highest constellation, C6, Mavuika gains a powerful boost. After meeting a certain condition, possibly linked to her Night Soul mechanic, her elemental burst resets the cooldown of all teammates' Night Soul abilities and increases the entire team's attack by a massive 200%. Her signature weapon also focuses on team support, with a unique effect that boosts the entire team's attack. This weapon could be essential for players aiming to maximize her supportive potential alongside her offensive capabilities. While these abilities are based on early info, they hint that Mavuika's full potential shines in reaction setups and team coordination. For a clearer picture, we'll have to wait until the beta drops, which is just around the corner. Mavuika is shaping up to be one of the most dynamic and flexible characters we've seen in Genshin Impact. From her unique exploration abilities to her multifunctional elemental skill and powerful team-supporting elemental burst, she has a kit that's both exciting and versatile. Whether you're planning to pull for her or just interested in seeing her unique mechanics in action, Mavuika is sure to shake things up in version 5.3. It's important to note that all this information is based on early insider info, and since the 5.3 beta hasn't even begun yet, details could still change significantly. Sources like Jav91i, Flying Flame, and Iris have all shared parts of Mavuika's kit, but until beta testers get their hands on her next week, we can't be certain about all the mechanics and final details. The beta, starting in just about a week, will give us a clear look at her official gameplay, animations, and any adjustments Hoyoverse might make to her kit. So, while it's fun to speculate, waiting for the beta will give us the most accurate picture of Mavuika's full potential. Until then, keep an eye out for updates as we approach her official release. With just a week until the beta begins, we don't have long to wait for more confirmed details on Mavuika's kit, gameplay, and all the finer points we're excited to see. This early information gives us a taste, but the beta will bring us a complete look at her abilities, how her unique mechanics play out, and, of course, her splash art. Honestly, I can't wait to finally see it all come together. Let's stay tuned for what's next. Let me know in the comments if you're saving for Mavuika, or if her versatile playstyle has you as excited as I am. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates as we get closer to her release. And if you want to save up to 20% on Genesis crystals, visit lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.